Not that. All right, let's see. Okay, perfect. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining our volunteer call. I know when we had our virtual kickoff on the 9th, we had shared that we wanted to bring everyone together to talk a little bit more around the support we need for the friendship walks. So with that, for anyone who wasn't able to join the kickoff, and I haven't had the privilege, or Lily hasn't had the privilege of meeting. My name is Victoria Gemini. I'm one of the Best Buddy New Jersey Walk co-chairs. I also am our jobs program vice chair. And my day job is I'm a diversity, equity, and inclusion consultant at Siemens. So really excited to be with all of you tonight. Really excited to be part of the Friendship Walk again, and even more excited to introduce and pass it over to my co-chair, Lily, who has been such a driving force around supporting Best Buddies moving from having one walk to 2 walks. So Lily, I'll pass it over to you to introduce yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's hard to follow up Victoria, honestly, because she's such a rock star in her own right. But again, so I'm Lily Acapinti. I'm the other co-chair for the Best Buddies Friendship Walk. And I'm also, as my daytime, I feel like it's like, Victoria, we're superheroes at night, and then we have our daytime jobs. But my daytime job, I'm a pre-K teacher at the Eatontown School District. So very passionate about inclusion and Best Buddies, and just very excited to finally bring all of us together tonight and to kind of talk about why we're here tonight. So I'm going to throw it back to Victoria, and we're going to kind of go into just why you guys are here tonight.
Perfect. No, thank you so much, Lily. So, like we discussed during the kickoff, and I'm sure many of you have received communication through Best Buddies New Jersey, we are going to have 2 friendship walks this year. One that is our North Jersey walk, April 9th at Liberty State Park in Jersey City, and then April 23rd at the College of New Jersey will be our Greater Princeton area walk. So with that, we've been working very diligently to mobilize our friendship walk committees. Big shout out to our various committee members that are currently on the call. Thank you all so much for your support. And we want to continue growing that network of individuals that are helping support our efforts with the walk, especially with our North Jersey one being new. And especially now that we're back to being live after 2 years of virtual walks. So at this point, where we really need support, I would say is team recruitment. On one side, it's, continuing to mobilize our schools and our community to be growing our reach and teams, across the state there. And that can impact both our Greater Princeton area walk as well as our North Jersey walk. And then also our corporate recruitment efforts. So I know on my end, I'm going to have a work stream that's really focused on, leveraging LinkedIn and engaging our networks to be able to get some corporate sponsorship. But that type of engagement is extremely important too when it comes to our school and community teams. I think as an organization, our walk had taken place solely in the Mercer County area. And if we're looking to really expand our reach across the state, having individuals like yourselves sharing the Best Buddy story, why you're involved, the fact that we have these walks this year will be super helpful, whether people start a team or they join the team that you're currently on. What matters is we're bringing people together to really understand our mission of inclusion as an organization and the work we do to advocate for individuals with IDD. So those are 2 huge areas. We're definitely looking for volunteers, and that goes, like I mentioned, for the Greater Princeton area as well as the North Jersey area. And then I would say the other piece is social media support. Recognizing that we're all staying connected with one another via social media, we definitely want to amplify stories on our Best Buddies New Jersey social media. We have our Instagram, we have our Facebook, and then of course, when we think about reaching out to corporations, we have our LinkedIn. So for those of you that are interested in sharing, your why that you're involved in Best Buddies, if you're willing to, have a member of your team featured, or just, helping us tell stories on social media, whatever that looks like, connecting with your network. We'd really love to get these stories together and highlight each of our advocates on social media. what I'll say is really great, and John, I think you'll appreciate this, but it also kind of helps you bring in donations and bring in recruits for your teams if you're featured on our social media, because not only are you able to share that post with your network, but you're also able to have your personal brand seen by the entire Best Buddies New Jersey network. So we definitely want to capture stories of our buddy pairs, our school teams, our corporate teams, our committee members. So if you'd like to be featured on social media after this call, definitely follow up with Lily and myself, and we'll be sure to work with you to get your story on social media. Or if you have any fun ideas of what we can do to better socialize the walk, we'd love to have you join our social media committee so you can help us think of fun ways to get people engaged with our efforts with the 2 walks. And then I'd say the very last piece, and this is something that Lily and I have been talking a lot about over the last week, is Day of Volunteers. As you can imagine, there's a lot of setup that these walks will require. So there's setup, there's Day of Volunteers. You know, we're going to have, for example, at the North Jersey Walk, we're going to have inflatables. We're going to have a lot of different games going on. So being able to have people there who can help, work some of these stations. And then, of course, towards the end of the event, our wrap up and cleanup. So always looking for Day of Volunteers, even for check-in, passing out T-shirts, on top of just being there and enjoying the day, we'd love to be able to set up people to volunteer for a period of time to help ensure that we have a seamless walk. So a lot of opportunities to get engaged. And that's really why we wanted to have today's call. I think everyone can make an impact, whether you start a team, you join a team, you are part of our committee, but we really wanted to open it up for folks to get more involved with Best Buddies New Jersey. So Lily, I'll pass it over to you if I missed anything.
No, you're perfect. I'm just going to throw to John real quick because he has
perfect.
his hand and a virtual hand raised. So go ahead, John.
I had a question for that to go off of Day of Volunteers, since I know for the one here on the 23rd, we already have the committee set up kind of for that whole process of the check-in and other stuff. I just didn't know if you guys needed anything from us regarding any updates for the day of stuff, because there's already stuff that we have that's ongoing from the TC&J.
Just to confirm, John, what do you mean ongoing? So you guys have the committee set for your day of run?
Yeah, so I think that's what I heard. They already have a committee, there's a whole chart of this, of who's running each thing for the one here on the 23rd. I think Daphne or Juliana posted it. But we already have different people running different stuff here for the walk at the college on the 23rd.
That's great if they have their volunteers, because again, you guys, the walk at TC&J is a very collegiate based situation. You know what I mean? So a lot of your volunteers might already be college students. I know Donna and her mom are on this call right now, and I know that they'll be a part of the TC&J walk. So just because it depends on the part of the state that you're in, where I know some people will be going to the TC&J walk, and that doesn't mean that they're a college student. You know what I mean? I know there's prospective college students that want to do it, like Donna, but I did put into our email that if other people do want to volunteer at the TC&J walk, they're also able to. So maybe what we can do is they can reach out and we can give them Daphne's information, because she is the president to the TC&J chapter. So yeah, that was a great comment.
That's why I was just saying, just before, we have anything else for that side of the thing for the day of, to make sure that we loop in TC&J, so that way they're made aware of this stuff, so that way they're not confused or left behind of this info at the last second.
So we are in contact with them, so no worries about that. And this meeting is also being recorded and will be sent out to the presidents who are running the TC&J walk. So they will be very much in the loop. But thank you for thinking of them, John. I appreciate that. And just to go off of what Victoria said, again, our biggest push is to just, spread the word, get the teams going, more than enough people are coming onto the teams, but just, continuously like asking your friends and family members just to spread the mission of what, Best Buddies and the Friendship Walk is about. Social media wise, I am not ashamed to say I am 34. I'm not on TikTok. So I know we are looking to keep ourselves fresh and young. Victoria sent me a really cool TikTok challenge because I know we have Alexa that's been, looking into that stuff for us. If that's also something that interests you, if it's, Snapchat or Instagram, we're looking to keep ideas fresh. So please reach out to us when it comes to things like that. We do have 2 events that are coming up. So if you guys want to open up your planners or your calendars, March 3rd, so it's next Thursday, we are going to be at the Monmouth University game. I just got confirmation from my brother, that's my insider at Monmouth, that we will be able to have an information table. So we won't be able to be fundraising, quote unquote, there, but we will be able to spread information about the walk and have people sign up to be a part of the walk that day. It is at 7 p.m. It is a home game. So if anybody's interested, please email myself or Victoria so we can get you guys tickets. Myself and Victoria will be there. So it would be really cool to get a nice little group of Best Buddies people at that game, to either be at the game or work at the table. And then we do have our trivia night Thursday, March 10th at 7:30. That is a virtual event. More information to follow on that. Mike is a fabulous person. Fazil, John, Victoria, we've all been a part of the trivia nights. It does get a little competitive. So as much as we are, inclusive with each other, it is a bit of a virtual bloodbath when it comes to our trivia nights. It does get very competitive, but very excited. Alex, you're laughing. Brett gets very competitive as well. He's like the nicest human, but he gets super competitive. I apologize. My dogs are in the background cheering me on right now. So those are 2 events though that I would, we would really like to push because it is another way of getting the word out. And if there's anything like that on your end, if there's a high school game, if there's a college game that there's a local college by you, anything that you can think of out of the box, we are very open to hearing. Victoria, did I miss anything? Oh, I did miss something. So some of you have expressed wanting to be on our committee. Our first committee meeting is going to be Wednesday, March 2nd at 8 p.m. We are going to be very mindful of everybody's time. We are going to try to keep those to a half hour. And then right before the committee meeting, we will be meeting with the captains of the teams. So the captains meeting will be the same day, Wednesday, March 2nd at 7:30. So we'll have the captains meeting and go right into the committee meeting. So what the captains meeting does is it kind of keeps like a little lifeline. I'm so sorry, guys. It keeps a lifeline on the teams. And if they have questions about fundraising or if they have any issues, we can discuss it right then and there. Victoria, do you want to take over captain's meetings?
Sure.
Sorry.
No, not a problem. So basically what we wanted to do is we recognize that, we're still navigating the pandemic and we want to be very mindful around how we're putting asks out, but also recognizing that, we want to spread inclusion and be able to raise awareness about what we're doing as an organization, and the impact that people's donations and times have on our organization. So these meetings are not only going to be ways for us to have an open forum so we could share some perspective and best practices around, recruiting walkers for your team or fundraising, but I also think it's a way to kind of network and get to know one another, other team captains, to share best practices and find ways that we can kind of continue mobilizing our mission of inclusion. And what I'll say too is, Lily and I love these meetings just to kind of hear from everybody, what are things you might want to see at the walk that we didn't think of? And if it's something that we can't execute on this year, maybe it's something that we can really strive for next year. And then you can be part of our committee because we're really looking to put a focus on the Friendship Walk year round. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get involved and help shape these efforts moving forward. And I think the other big piece too is, as you're going out and talking about the walk, and I actually do have the slide right here, I think it's really important that, you're able to share where people's money go to. I know for me, it's really important, to know if I'm donating to a cause, I want to know that it's going towards something that's going to make a difference, help improve someone's life, help improve the environment, whatever that might be. So there's really great resources we have that as you talk about Best Buddies and people want to understand how their donation equates to programmatic support, this right here really tells that story in a very impactful way. And as we start featuring people on social media and how far along your team is, if your team's at $5,000, we could say $5,000 equates to the gift of friendship and really talk a little bit about that. So we want to be very intentional with our walk this year. We want people to really understand the impact that they're making by being involved. So these captain meetings are a really great way to kind of glean some best practices, network, and really help drive your efforts as a team forward. So we will be doing those on a consistent basis. Come next week, we'll share what the cadence of those meetings are going to look like. It might be every other week. We kind of want to gauge how our captains feel and what will be valuable for them, and we will support as needed. So that's our captain meetings. Like Lily mentioned, right after we're going to have our committee meetings where we just do brief touch bases around where we're at with the different pillars of our event. And then, like anything else, if you're unable to make those calls and you really want to connect to us, either both Lily and I together or one of us will definitely find time to connect with you. We just really appreciate people taking the time to help support the Friendship Walk because we recognize everyone has a lot going on. So if you're helping support the walk, then this cause means as much to you as it does to us. And that really does mean a lot. So with that, I know Lily and I talked a lot, and we're definitely going to be following up with this recording and an email, but really kind of want to open up the floor to see if there's any other questions, comments, just because we're all together, and want to make sure that we can address any questions on your end. So I'll kind of open up the floor and I'll stop sharing my screen.
With that graphic that you just had up there, sorry if I missed it, but is that like online or something, or do we have access to it somewhere?
Absolutely. Oh, sorry, Lily.
I would say, Alex, the one where the money goes, because we have all the graphics that we can send to you guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's the one that I wanted to see, and that'll be good to just, show people where I'm like, check this out, and they'll get a good idea just from that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll make sure that's part of the follow-up. And I know a recent message went out that had our bingo board that I know is super popular, that I know folks have kind of put on their Instagram story to get donations, since each box is a different dollar amount. So we can make sure that's sent out as well in case anyone didn't get that communication. Because I think it's fun ways that people can, donate money, and, every dollar counts. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Might as well ask another question real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So between now and the committee meeting, I know you guys, emphasize that we should reach out to as many people as possible and try to get them involved and sign up for the walk. Between now and the committee meeting, is there anything else that I can be doing?
Alex, I know when we spoke, you seemed interested in with like the corporate sponsoring. If that's still something that you're interested in, Victoria can send you the packet that we have. Again, not, you can just reach out to whomever you like, connecting, because what I'm kind of going to be doing is a lot of like the school recruitment and things like that. Victoria is going more with like the corporate spot, like pieces. So if you want to connect with her as well.
All right, cool. I will.
Perfect. Awesome. I see anything in the chat.
Yeah, feel free, guys. This is very much an open forum now.
I have a question. Do we have any updates on where exactly this walk on the 23rd is taking place on the campus? Because I still have not been made aware yet.
Yeah, so I know in aligning with Daphne, she had put together a map, and I think they had changed the path, I believe, potentially because of a sporting event of some sort. So John, we'll make sure to have you connect with Daphne after this call. So I'll connect with you one-on-one around that.
Perfect, because I know when I spoke to Matthew, he still wasn't made aware. No one else from eBoard's made aware of it yet.
Yeah, I think there might be some changes from, gosh, what was it, the 2018 walk?
The track.
So yes, yep. So I'll definitely have Daphne connect with you afterwards to confirm.
And Victoria, Kelly is from Seton Hall about connecting with their e-board. So I said that we'll set up a time to meet with their e-board to talk about day of.
Okay, perfect. And I think I had connected, Jillian had texted me too, and I said we try and connect. So that's perfect. So we'll make sure to get everyone together.
Perfect.
It looks like Donna's typing, so I'll wait to see that come through.
Are there any plans of a tricky tray or 50-50 raffle? Not as of right now. Donna, do you mean for the day of or just for fundraising in general for the walk? So what's interesting, and we'll follow up with more, but when it comes to day of, when you do 50-50, that is technically gambling. So that's a whole nother packet that we would have to look into. I know we are looking into it, Donna. We'll be speaking to Matthew to see. So we will follow up with that. As far as a tricky tray, we wouldn't be doing day of for that, but we will follow up with Matthew to see about a raffle.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I don't see any more questions coming through. So I know we're working with Jess from the Best Buddies New Jersey staff to help support our follow-up to everyone, for those, all of you who were able to join, and then for those that aren't. But don't hesitate to reach out to Lily or myself. I can put in case anyone doesn't have it, I'll put my Best Buddies email in the chat. So feel free to grab that and send an email if you're interested in joining a committee, if you have any questions, if you'd like to be featured on social media. Definitely want to make sure that everyone has a chance to be as involved as possible, especially with this being our first walk in 2 years. So it's very, very exciting. And I'm really glad that Lily and I had the opportunity to get to meet all of you live. I know many of you, we've worked with each other over the last couple of years. So it'll be nice to actually come together live and put faces to names. But we just want to thank you all again for your time tonight. Thank you for your support of Best Buddies New Jersey. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions or comments. That's what we're here for. But we're very excited for both of our walks and just really appreciative to all of you for your support. So thank you all. And I hope you have a great evening and rest of your week. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.